Tally software has supplanted the traditional book ledger system because it offers cost-effective and time-saving alternatives for recording day-to-day transactions. Tally is used by auditors, banks, chartered accountants, and small and medium-sized businesses in a variety of financial disciplines. It also aids in the maintenance of the cash flow statement by providing debt collection reminders, hence reducing interest payments. It aids in the early identification of receivable payment, defaulters, and dubious debtors. Tally is a robust company accounting software that works in several languages and in tandem with other business activities. Tally generates invoices in a variety of currencies with single and multiple items. Tally ERP 9 comes with pre-configured banking capabilities that help you keep track of your payments. Check printing options are now available in the banking menu, allowing you to print and reprint checks from a single screen. It also allows you to update check data and keep track of the pending checks that need to be produced by various banks. Let's look at how to write a check for yourself in this tutorial. A self-cheque is a check written in your name with the same person as the drawer and payee. On the checks issued by the bank in respect of your current account with the same bank, the word self is put in the area provided for the drawee's name. Only the drawer's bank account can be used to withdraw the money. The other types of checks are written to make payments to creditors, suppliers, and other business service providers. Usually, cash can't be withdrawn through these checks. However, the self-cheque is issued in the drawer's name to withdraw the cash from his/her account. The other checks, such as account payee checks, post-dated checks, cancelled checks, crossed checks, and many others, are directed towards paying outside parties. Enter self as the name of favoring party in the bank allocation screen for passing a contra entry. Open the gateway of Tally accounting vouchers. Click F4 on the keyboard to pass the contra entry. Credit the bank account under which self-cheque is created. Fill the amount in the credit column. To go to the bank allocations, click on Enter on the entry created. Select self as the favoring name. Click Ctrl-A to accept and then return to the accounting voucher creation screen. Debit the cash A/C with the amount for which self-withdrawal check is created. Click Enter to return to the check printing screen. You will be able to view the self-cheque sample. Click Enter to get self-cheque withdrawal done successfully. Tally is a business software that gives rapid answers to common business problems. One of them is writing checks that must be withdrawn and paid to creditors before the due date in order to avoid paying interest. Let's take a look at how to print checks in Tally, which is broken down into 3 steps. Accessing check printing. Printing checks or generating printing reports. Configuration of information of checks printed and to be printed. Select the gateway of Tally Banking, Check Printing. You can access the list of banks that appear on the Select Bank screen. You can select all the banks or a particular bank account from the list of banks. Press Enter, where you will see a page displaying the different details of the pending check such as instrument number, favoring name, date, amount, and their printing status. You can check all the checks by pressing F6 to display the checks on your screen. The bank which has not been configured for check printing settings will not be reflected in the check printing screen. Thus, it is essential to configure the bank for check printing through ledger alteration. The check printing screen can be altered for presentation by selecting the following options. You can choose the required row from the list to open the voucher in alteration mode. You can also change the period by clicking F2. F4 allows to change and select that bank from the list available. The check details can be edited through F7, which allows altering the instrument no, favoring bank, and date of the instrument. The check printing screen can be filtered through F12 that changes range based on bank date, favoring name, date, amount, instrument number, ledgers, narrations, transaction type, remarks, etc. Through F12, the configuration can be done regarding the details you want to view on the check printing screen. Some of those details are given as follows: obtaining confirmation before printing each check, showing payment favoring party name, inclusion of printed checks in the list appearing on the check. You can select a sorting method as per your preference. Click on S on the keyboard for selecting the printer. Select the printer from the list of connected printers in the network on which you are willing to print the self-cheque. To open the check printing orientation screen, click on N on your keyboard. After selecting the check printing orientation as per requirement, select the orientation to front/rear and let the orientation be vertical in the field Print From. Configuration can be carried out through F12. Fill in the dimensions as per your requirement. You can adjust the distance between the top and bottom edge to modify the dimension. You can also customize the printing date on the check as per your preference. Click on Enter after altering the dimensions and other configurations as per your preference. After completing the configuration, select the check printing screen and bank account. Click on the P to the print to see the check printing screen. Click on Enter to print the check to self. Select the bank account for which check details are to be provided. Select the bank name from the list of banks. To access the list, internet connectivity is required. Provide the IFSC code. Provide the branch. Enabling the Set Checkbooks field to provide the check range in the tally. Provide the starting check number and ending check number to help the system calculate the number of checks in the checkbook. You can also provide the checkbook name. Click Enter to freeze the settings. Here, you can set the check dimensions as per your requirement. Click on Ctrl-A to freeze the check dimensions, which will further direct you to the sample check printing screen. Click Enter to get the preview. Click on ESC to get back to the ledger master. To accept, click Enter. Checks can be written on current or savings accounts, and the bankers can make the payment on their behalf without the need for cash movement. Because it is an unconditional command, it must be issued with a caution. Let's have a look at the stages involved in writing a check in detail. In the top right corner of the check, where the boxes are created, fill the date you want to make the withdrawal. Write yourself or cash in the space provided for pay to the order of. This space is provided for the payee. Feed the amount of cash you want to withdraw from the bank account. Give your